Well, here it is. It's springtime. The flowers are blooming. The days are getting longer. It's sunny out, and we're here with Carol out in the garden nursery. So, Carol, what do you have for us today?
I've got some great shade plants for you. We'll start with Farfugium wavy gravy. If nothing else, it's got a cool name. Farfugiums are Ligularia relatives. They're zone 7. They're semi-evergreen if they're in a shady protected spot. I like how the foliage is different on every single leaf. They're wonderful container plants. Full shade, moist soils. They get about 15 to 18 inches high and wide, and they're a really nice shade plant addition.
Does that one stay evergreen in the wintertime?
It will stay evergreen with protection. If you keep it out of the frost, I've had them stay evergreen. So either under a sheltered porch or in a unheated greenhouse, and they'll stay evergreen. But if a hard frost hit them, they'll go dormant for the season.
But then you can just cut that foliage back and then it'll flush back up. Oh,
yep,
great.
Absolutely. So then another fun we have, this is Gaultheria procumbrans cherry berries, and it's obviously grown for these gigantic, huge berries.
Oh, yeah.
They do summer flowers, and then the berries have been on since last fall, so they hold really, really long. It's another great shade plant. They're evergreen. They do get a little burgundy foliage in the wintertime. They're a slow-growing creeper, 4 to 6 inches tall, and then they'll slowly make a thicket and colonize. But these berries are wonderful. They are edible. They're not the tastiest thing. My dog likes them. They're actually an eastern United States native, and I saw some references to some regional recipes for the fruit online about those.
Because they have kind of like a little minty kind of taste, don't they?
They do, yeah. They've got a really weird texture, and that's what's not the most nice thing about them. But they do have a little bit of a wintergreen flavor, and they do like shade, moist soils, and acidic soils. So like they'd be a great ground cover under your Japanese maples and rhododendrons.
Oh, great.
And then we'll go for another one of my favorite spring ones with a little bit of flowers. This is Tiarella Sugar and Spice. It has these great big foam flowers, really beautiful cut leaves that get really dark centers. So it's very interesting every season of the year. It's semi-evergreen, depending on what the winter does. The foliage is going to be 8 to 10 inches tall, and then the flowers are going to be like a foot to 15 inches tall, and they make a nice little mound for the front of the shade garden.
Right. And then if you're once the flowers are done and you cut those back, do they rebloom at all, or are you just like
this is not necessarily a really good rebloomer, but it's full of blooms up here. And if you look down in the crown of plant, it's full of plant. It's for a Tiarella, it's a very, very long bloomer. You get 3 to 4 months out of blooms most years.
And then you can kind of enjoy the foliage the rest of the year, kind of like the corbel grows.
Yep,
right?
absolutely. And then the last plant I have today is Carex Feather Falls. This is there's Feather Falls and Ribbon Falls. Ribbon Falls is solid green. They're a beautiful evergreen. They have these really wonderful wispy long leaves. They're great container plants, park to full shade, and evergreen.
So it looks like, a lot of these choices you have could all actually be kind of planted in similar areas.
Yes,
as far
absolutely.
as, shady and containers.
Yeah,
and get a lot of different, textures and colors, which is great to have that evergreen and something the year-round interest and the blooms and the foliage color, kind of a whole package deal.
I really am focused on foliage. I think foliage is a great part of the garden.
Right. And now you have a lot of these plants, out at your nursery, and you have display gardens, and as we're doing our, social distancing, obviously we're keeping our distancing today and doing this, remotely, but, you are open. So what do you doing out at the nursery?
We're open our regular hours. It's very easy at our nursery to social distance between the nursery and the gardens. It's very easy to keep people 6 feet or more apart. People have been coming out. They're very comfortable to be here. They're very glad just to be outside, be in a different environment than their homes.
Right.
We do have the protocols for gloves if people want them. We have wipes and sanitizer and a hand washing station. I wipe down common surfaces as much as I can. But people have been really comfortable coming out here and just enjoying a little bit of nature and getting outside.
Yes, and it's great therapy. I know I was out in my garden all weekend, when the weather like this, just to kind of get a little bit of reprieve. So it's great to have, places that you can get to, like in your garden, to go out and get that, a little bit of sanity and able to enjoy
Absolutely.
that. So we appreciate you being with us today and showing these, beautiful plants and, you can go out and visit your nursery, or if you need more information, you can visit gardentime.tv and we'll click you over. Thanks, Carol.
Thanks, Ryan.